Hello, everyone. Welcome or welcome back to Ethereal Guidance. I hope you all are doing well. In today's pick a card reading, we are going to be asking Spirit, how can you speed up union with your soulmate? So I have 3 groups for you to choose from. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So feel free to pause the video if you need more time to meditate on the piles. As always, the timestamps are in the description box below, and I will see you all in your readings. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this card, then this is going to be your reading where we are looking at how you can speed up union with your soulmate. So, as I'm tapping into your energy, pile number 1, actually, before I even go there, I did just want to preface this reading by saying, everything kind of happens in divine timing. So as it relates to your union with your soulmate, it's going to happen in divine timing. But I did just want to see what advice we can get from Spirit on how you can be proactive in, I guess, your journey to your soulmate. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to say that very quickly. Now, as I'm tapping into your energy, pile number 1, I was being shown like a fast sports car, which was making me think of the Chariot in the tarot, which is really a card of being driven, taking action, victory, success, things of that nature. So as I'm tapping into your energy, I feel like the biggest thing for you, pile number 1, is really about you going after your goals and you achieving those goals. I keep hearing it's about drive, it's about power. That's kind of the energy that I'm picking up. That's really important for you, pile number 1, in union or in finding union with your soulmate, through you really being proactive and taking charge of your life and going after your goals in life. So yeah, that's what I'm initially picking up with you. We're gonna place this card over here to the side. We're gonna take a look at the message on the back of it at the end of your reading, and that will just be any last information from Spirit about union with your soulmate. So let's go ahead and get into your tarot, and then we're going to get into your oracle cards, and we're going to see what you need to do, what you need to focus on to speed up union with your soulmate. For pile number 1, please, Spirit, how can pile number 1 speed up union with their soulmate? What do they need to do? What do they need to focus on for pile 1? Look at that, King of Wands energy. So King of Wands is basically this is the energy that you need to be in, pile number 1. This goes very well with that initial energy that I was picking up on of being very driven, going after your goals. This is a very passionate, creative energy. And the lion back here, this is a sign of bravery and courage, tenacity, so that's kind of the energy that I feel you need to be in order to speed up this union with your soulmate, pile number 1. You need to be a go-getter. You need to go after your goals. And with this being the King of Wands, I kind of feel like for many of you, maybe there's some sort of creative endeavor that you need to pursue. But let's see, how can pile 1 speed up union with their soulmate? Spirit, how can pile 1? We have the 6 of Swords. How can pile number 1 speed up union with their soulmate, please, Spirit? We have the Queen of Cups. Okay. We have the Queen of Swords, and let's get one more. How can pile number 1 speed up union with their soulmate, Spirit? We have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Wands. So pile number 1, I was also hearing there's something about alchemizing this energy that's within you. I feel like some of you may have a lot of conflicting energy within you. With this 5 of Pentacles being here, this is an energy of lack. It's an energy of abandonment, of hardship, right? I feel like a lot of you have just a lot of conflicting, could even be angry energy, sad energy, disappointed energy there's something about alchemizing that and turning it into something beautiful, something creative, something that you're really passionate about. That's what I was hearing. Now, the Six of Swords is a card of the calm after the storm. It's about moving on from something tumultuous into a period of rest and peace. So I feel like, especially as it relates to your internal world, pile number one, there's really a need for you to find inner peace and find inner calm and take any kind of negative emotions that you may be harboring within you and alchemizing that and turning it into something I'm hearing just beautiful, something creative, something even something that can bring you monetary gain is what I'm hearing as well. There's something about that coming through. But there's also this need for you to like be a go-getter. You know, there's a tenacious energy that I'm picking up on that I feel like you really need to tap into. Because even with this Five of Wands being here, this is a card of competition, you know? So there's this need for you to like not back down, a need for you to go after your goals and give it your all, you know? Really, really give it your all. With the Queen of Cups being here, this is about emotion. This is about emotional intelligence, really tapping into that heart space and allowing yourself to be in just a state of flow. So that's why I was feeling for like a lot of you internally, it feels like there's a lot kind of going on with you internally. Like I feel like there's anger, there's resentment, there's regret, there's sadness, there's grief. There's all of these things going on within you, pile number one, that really needs to kind of be alchemized and settled down. And I think also this really has to do with like your decision making and the way that you think logically, because I feel like especially as it relates to like your goals, even like career and things like that, I feel like your judgment might be a little bit clouded because there's all of these things going on within you internally, and it is clouding your judgment, it's clouding like your logical mind and your decision making. So I feel like that's another thing that's coming through, that you know, as it relates to your internal world, it's really important for you to find a state of flow and a state of peace. And that can come through like a lot of different ways. Like this can come through, you know, you focusing on mindfulness, meditation. That really, really helps kind of calm the mind down, focusing on your breath. But also kind of channeling that energy into something I feel is creative, something that you're passionate about, you know? That's also something that's coming through here as well, really channeling that into your creativity. But yeah, like I was saying, like it feels like your internal world is kind of clouding your judgment a little bit, and there's a need for you to make like, I'm hearing better decisions, but it comes from you really kind of settling down that kind of all over the place energy that's going on within you. So yeah, and also I feel like there's this need to release any kind of lack mindsets or negative mindsets that you may have, because this Five of Pentacles, like I said, it's a card of lack. It's a card of feeling abandoned. So there is this energy of like you kind of taking control of that, you know, you being like, okay, enough's enough. I'm not going to stay in this lack mindset. I'm not going to sit in this place that is unfulfilling, and I'm going to take charge and I'm going to move forward. That's what I'm picking up on. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to focus on, pile number one. And also there's this feeling of like not backing down, you know. You need to really be like confident within yourself, and you need to go after your goals, and really channeling any kind of negative energy that's within you and turning it into something that I'm hearing is lucrative for some of you, or just something that you're able to put your all into. You're able to put your heart, your soul, your passion into. That is what's going to help speed up union with your soulmate, pile number one. So I want to go ahead and get into your oracle cards now. So I did pull one like Soul's Journey or Soul's Purpose oracle card to see what you need to focus on in order to speed up union. So you guys have heart's desires. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. So once again, going back to that, like you need to be doing like You need to be following your heart's desires. You need to be taking action towards your goals. There's something that you're wanting to do, pile number one. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's probably creative with that King of Wands energy, because that's a very creative energy. And even with the Queen of Cups, because this is about you being really in tune with your heart space, you know? So there's something that you're wanting to do that maybe you feel like you're not good enough for. Maybe you feel like you're not talented enough or something of that nature. There's this lack, you know, within you where it makes you feel like you're not good enough for something or that you're not skilled enough. And it's completely just not true. Pile number one, you are meant to be following your heart's desires. You have support. Your angels and your guides are supporting you and guiding you. You just have to take that action and not give up. Yeah, because you're meant to make your dreams a reality. That is what you are meant to do, and that is what's going to bring you closer to your soulmate. That is how you're going to speed up union, by following your heart's desire, by achieving your goals and stopping at nothing to achieve your goals, what your heart and your soul is calling you to do. Pile number one. I feel like for a lot of you, you will meet your soulmate while you are like taking proactive action towards a goal of yours. That's coming through. So that might also be part of the reason why, you know, this is what Spirit is encouraging you to do in order to speed up this union. Because, like, for example, say you want to do like a workshop or something. Okay. I was kind of getting like multiple examples coming through, but let's just say, for example, you wanted to take some kind of a class or some kind of a workshop that'll help you kind of build upon your skills. You may meet your soulmate doing something like that. So that's part of the reason why Spirit is really wanting you to be proactive and going after your goals and going after your heart's desires and tapping into that creative energy and tapping into your heart space and bringing in your dreams, you know, making your dreams a reality. That's what's coming through here, pile number one. That is what Spirit is guiding you to do in order to speed up union with your soulmate, but also just so that you can really step into your life's purpose, because I feel like it's kind of tied together, you know? So we also have, I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Yeah. So your soul's mission, your soul's plan, I think is heavily tied to your soulmate, or at least union with your soulmate. There's something about that, like by you doing what you came here to do, by you doing what your soul is guiding you towards, what your heart is pulling you towards, that is like, it lines up perfectly with union with your soulmate, pile number one. So yeah, this is about you tapping into the life that was kind of like predestined, or that you planned to do before you incarnated in this life. This is about you stepping into your soul plan here. And your soul plan, what you came here to do, is what your heart is pulling you towards. It's your heart's desire. That's what you came here to do, and that's what Spirit is wanting you to focus on, pile number one. That is what is going to lead you closer to your soulmate here. I feel it very strongly that by you doing what your heart is guiding you to do, like you're going to meet your soulmate while you're doing that, you know, while you're like bettering your skills, or you're just being proactive in going after your goals. There's something that's going to happen while you're doing that, that's going to lead you directly to your soulmate, pile number one. But you have to get out of this lack mindset, you know. That's what I feel. You have to get out of this lack mindset, and you have to calm your internal world down. That way you can really like find more balance within yourself to take proactive action, you know? So we also have soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So I kind of feel like Spirit is just saying like, because I don't feel like you've probably met your soulmate. My intention was really for mostly people who have not yet met their soulmate. For some of you, maybe you're asking in your head, you know, is so-and-so my soulmate? Take that as confirmation, I suppose. But I also just feel like Spirit is just reminding you that your soulmate is in fact out there. Okay, for those of you who are like on the verge of giving up hope, This is Spirit's way of telling you, yes, your soulmate is out there, and yes, you will come into union with your soulmate when the time is right. But your main thing, pile number one, is you really achieving and going after your goals, and you really kind of calming your internal world down, releasing any lack or negative mindsets that you may have, and alchemizing that and turning that into something creative, something beautiful, something lucrative, you know? That's kind of what's coming through here for you, pile number one. And I did pull one last card just to see any other messages Spirit has for you regarding union with your soulmate. So you guys have a year from now. So you may be coming into union with your soulmate a year from now, or there may be some kind of significant development within this soulmate connection a year from now. So even if say you meet your soulmate like within the next few months, it might be a year from now you're getting engaged. You know, it could even be something like that. So there's something significant happening between you and your soulmate a year from now, pile number one. So let's go ahead and get into your last card here, your little heart card. Like I said, this is just any last tidbits of information that Spirit has for you regarding union with your soulmate. So you guys have, close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Look at that. That's a beautiful message. I was also hearing, like, don't forget to stop and smell the roses. I totally forgot to mention that when I was initially kind of tapping into your energy, because Spirit was kind of saying, like, yes, it's so important that you go after your goals and that you know, are tenacious in that way, but also don't forget to stop and smell the roses sometimes. You know, there's that balance that needs to happen. I feel like a lot of you are struggling at this time with just feeling very like blah, you know? And so I feel like Spirit is wanting you to experience more joy, you know, regardless of your physical circumstances. We do have the Five of Pentacles here. So some of you might be experiencing certain hardships in your material world, whether this is like financially, it could be home situations. There's just this feeling of being unfulfilled with your material world in some way. And Spirit is really wanting you to just remember to find the little bits of joy that you can in your life. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses. You know, being proactive in finding joy in the smallest things in life really does help kind of raise your vibration. And it's really something that you have to kind of train your mind in, especially if you're very used to being in more of like a negative or a lack mindset of just being unfulfilled and always just feeling that way and thinking that way. You have to kind of train your mind to think differently. So try and find joy in the small little things in life, pile number one. It really, really does add up. I'm speaking from experience. Something that I've mentioned before on my channel, one thing that I find joy in every single day is my morning tea. I have a nice hot cup of tea every single morning, and I just sip my tea, and I sit in an energy of gratitude for all of the positive things that I do have in my life. And I know that can be difficult. And like I said, this is something that you have to kind of train your mind to get used to, pile number one. But I feel like Spirit is kind of calling you to do something like that. You know, find the little bits of joy that you can in your life. And that will really help, you know, raise your vibration. It'll help you feel more confident in yourself, and it'll help you feel more like self-assured, especially as you're, you know, going after your goals and you're going after your heart's desires here. So yeah, that is all I'm seeing for you today, pile number one. I do hope that this reading was helpful and that it resonated with you. If it did, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Hi pile 2, if you chose this card, then this is going to be your reading where we are looking at how you can speed up union with your soulmate. Very quickly before we get started, I wanted to preface this reading by saying, of course, everything happens in divine timing. So when you and your soulmate come into union, it's going to be in divine timing, of course. But I just wanted to see what advice Spirit had for you on what you can do, what you can focus on to kind of speed up the union, and to put you on that timeline where you and your soulmate are in fact in union. So let's go ahead and get in. Excuse me. So as I'm initially tapping into your energy, pile number 2, I was kind of being shown like a person kind of stuck behind a net or a fence. And I was hearing the grass is greener on the other side. So it kind of feels like, I don't know if you may be kind of feeling a bit stuck or stagnant in your life, even if it's just in certain areas of your life or just your life as a whole. It just kind of feels like this stuck energy. There's a need to, I'm hearing, take risks. There's a need to step out of your comfort zone. There's a need for you to free yourself from being stuck behind a net or a fence or something like that. Yeah, there's something about that coming through here, but we're going to get your tarot, and then we're going to get into your oracle cards. I'm going to place your little heart over here to the side. We're going to take a look at this at the end. We're going to read the message on the back, which will be just any last information Spirit has for you regarding union with your soulmate. So for pile number 2, please, Spirit. Pile number 2. How can pile number 2 speed up union with their soulmate? What do they need to do? What do they need to focus on, please? So we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is about fate, change, destiny. Okay. Taking risks even. Let's see. How can pile 2 speed up union with their soulmate? How can pile 2 speed up union with their soulmate, Spirit? We have the King of Wands, which also came out for pile number 1. I do kind of feel like a similar energy between you and pile 1. How can pile 2 speed up union? We have the 2 of Cups. How can pile 2 speed up union with their soulmate? We have the 8 of Wands. How can pile 2 speed up union? Thank you. We have the High Priestess, and at the bottom of the deck we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so pile number 2. Starting off with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this is tying back to what I was saying when I was initially kind of picking up on your energy, like a need for change, a need for you to either take some kind of a risk or get yourself out of a stagnant energy. And you know what? With this Hanged Man being here at the bottom of the deck, I kind of feel like this is sort of your energy. But what I'm picking up on, it's like we have the 2 of Swords underneath that. It kind of feels like a need for you to kind of look at things from a different perspective where you are currently. So instead of looking at things as like, oh, I'm stuck or I'm stagnant, or like nothing's moving, nothing's happening in my life, look at it in a way of like, I can go anywhere from where I'm at right now. Think of it in that way. Like, I have the freedom to choose which direction I want to go in life. I have the freedom to do that, rather than looking at it as like, nothing's happening, I'm not going anywhere, you know. Look at it as more of like, I have the freedom and I have the willpower to go wherever I want in life. I have the freedom to do that, you know. I keep hearing like blank slate, you know, kind of looking at life, looking at your life as almost like a blank slate from where you're currently at if you're feeling kind of stuck or stagnant in any way, and realizing that you have the power to go wherever you want in life. You just have to be proactive in doing that and taking action. And I feel like that's what Spirit is kind of honing in here for you, pile number 2. Because like I said, the Wheel of Fortune, this is about change, right? This is fate, this is destiny, this is chance. And with the King of Wands being here, this is a very confident energy, right? This is a go-getter, passionate, tenacious, brave, courageous kind of an energy, you know? So I kind of feel like you emulating that or taking that energy on is really going to be beneficial in you speeding up union with your soulmate. I feel like you need to take more risks in life, pile number 2. I feel like you need to like make the proactive choices or decisions and taking those proactive steps to change your life, or to take risks in your life to align you with your soulmate. And we do have this wand energy, which, you know, can be a very creative energy. So for those of you who are like creative or want to be more creative, I feel like by you tapping into that creative energy, that will also speed up union with your soulmate. Now we do have the Two of Cups and the Eight of Wands here. Now the Two of Cups can literally like be a card of, you know, soulmates, soul connections. So I kind of feel like, you know, even with the Eight of Wands being here, because this is a very fast moving energy, I kind of feel like a lot of you are already kind of connected with your soulmate, at least in the 5D. I feel like for this pile, your union is actually probably not that far away, as it is now. So by you, you know, taking risks and you kind of making decisions that serve you, serve your creativity, that will only help speed things up even more. But I feel like even if you don't do that, I feel like your union is actually not that far away. But yeah, even with the Two of Cups, if we're looking at this not in like a soulmate-y kind of a way, this can really just be about you feeling really connected with the things that you're doing in your life, what you're passionate about, what fills your cup, you know? So I feel like by you really taking action and focusing on the things that really fill your cup, that will also lead you to union a little bit faster. Pile number 2. And with the High Priestess here, this is a card of intuition, you know? So I think you really tapping into your intuition, by you really trusting your intuition, that will also lead you to your soulmate a little bit faster. But this is also just making me think that you're already connected with your soulmate, at least in the 5D. Like, I really feel like for a lot of you, union is actually not that far away. I feel like it's pretty soon. And even with the Wheel of Fortune here, this can really be a card of things being outside of our control as well, you know, like I said, fate and destiny. So it feels like your union with your soulmate is kind of fated for a specific time in your life. But the best thing that you can do for yourself, pile number 2, is really focusing on what fills your cup, really focusing on taking risks that you want to take in your life. Especially like creatively, because I do feel like many of you are probably creative, or you want to explore that side of yourself a little bit more. This could even just be something like a hobby I'm hearing for some of you. Like, say some of you, I was seeing like knitting or crocheting, something like that. If you've been wanting to do that, but you've been putting it off, you know, try it out. You know, it could even just be something like that that you just do in your spare time. But I feel like by you giving energy to the things that you feel called to do is going to put you in a really high vibration. That's almost kind of like a beacon for your soulmate to come in, is what I'm seeing. So yeah, really kind of nurture your creative side, your heart space, what your heart is pulling you towards, even if it's just like a side hobby or something like that. Really trust in what your heart is pulling you towards, what your intuition is pulling you towards at this time. Pile number 2 is what I'm feeling here. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of you are already kind of connecting with your soulmate as we speak, in the 5D at the very least. And I feel like in the 3D, the two of you are going to come into union rather quickly, honestly. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards now. We're gonna see first, I asked Spirit what your soul's purpose is and what you need to be focusing on in regards to your soul's purpose in order to speed up this union. So you guys have counseling. You heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. Very beautiful energy. I'm actually getting that some of you might even be like tarot readers with the High Priestess here, like intuitives, you know. But yeah, you don't have to be. That's just a message that I got for someone here, possibly. So counseling, you heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. This kind of feels like an energy of, I was initially hearing like a shoulder to cry on, but it kind of just feels like being there for people, being like a supportive person in other people's lives, the people that you truly value and that you truly care about, but also for yourself, pile number 2. Being that shoulder to cry on for yourself, and really just being kind and gentle to yourself. Telling yourself kind words or saying kind words to yourself, words of affirmation, I feel like would also be very beneficial for you as well. But yeah, it just feels like being very nurturing and very kind to not only those around you, but to yourself as well. If you're someone that really is like naturally kind of like an empathetic person when it comes to other people, you're very nurturing, very kind, very patient with other people, but maybe you struggle to do that for yourself, I feel like that's something that you also may need to work on. Pile number 2 of giving yourself that same grace, giving yourself that same sort of kindness and patience, I think would also be very beneficial for you, pile number 2, in bringing in your soulmate or speeding up union with your soulmate. Yeah, I love this energy because it just feels so kind, so patient, so like motherly, It is a very healing sort of an energy. And I think, yeah, definitely words of affirmation. But I also just feel like you're probably someone that's like the counselor of the friend group or the counselor of your family. People come to you with their issues or their problems. And you give really good advice, but maybe you struggle taking your own advice, I'm hearing. So maybe that's also something that you need to work on for some of you. Pile number 2. So let's see, we also have Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestor, see the light by staying grounded. Very interesting because this High Priestess energy, like I said, this is a card of like really being in tune with your intuition and really trusting in your intuition, believing in the things that cannot yet be seen in the 3D. And so I feel like some of you may constantly be kind of swimming around in the 5D, the 4D. And so there's this need to kind of bring it down a little bit at times and remember to stay grounded, especially if you're someone who, I'm hearing dreams a lot or daydreams a lot, especially about like doing things that your heart is kind of guiding you towards or pulling you towards. Maybe you think about it a lot, you dream about it a lot, you feel it, you feel that kind of pull, but maybe you don't necessarily take action. I feel like that's also something that's coming through to, remember to take action, to ground yourself and to ground these, I'm hearing nudges that you feel that's kind of pulling you in a certain direction, to kind of bring that into the 3D and really kind of nurture that. But also just, focusing on grounding yourself, I think would also be really important. Spending time in nature, remembering to be present in your 3D reality, I feel is also very important for you, pile number 2. Yeah, you might be someone that's like constantly in their head, swimming around in the 5D, daydreaming, spending time in other realms. Like you may be someone that does that. And so there's also a need to kind of ground that energy and remember to be in the present moment and remember to nurture your 3D life, pile number 2. Because you can't fully like enjoy your life or even enjoy your soulmate if you're constantly swimming around in other realms, So I think there's also a need for you to remember that as well. So let's take a look at your romance oracle. We have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Love that. That's very important to remember to love yourself first, to put in a lot of like self-care. Once again, going back to this counseling energy where I feel like you may be someone that you might struggle a little bit with being patient with yourself and being really nurturing with yourself in the way that you are for other people. So there's a need for you to kind of, remember to give yourself that same grace, to give yourself that same love and care and appreciation. So I think focusing a lot on self-care would also be really important, and self-care could be a lot of different things. It can be, taking a nice hot bath. It could be doing a face mask. It could be nurturing your creative pursuits or endeavors. Just doing what your heart is calling you towards or pulling you towards, that's loving yourself. Or even just showing yourself patience and kindness, telling yourself kind words. All of these things are just really important in how you show yourself love, And yeah, loving your self-respect does make you more romantically attractive, I also just feel, what am I hearing? I'm hearing like you knowing how to love yourself properly brings in your soulmate, and your soulmate therefore can learn how to love you properly as well. Yeah, that's also a message that I was getting. I hope that made sense. Like, by you really nurturing and loving yourself in the way that you want to be loved is only going to, first of all, attract in your soulmate, but it's also going to show your soulmate once they come in how you expect to be loved and how you want to be loved. But you have to show yourself that love first for you to even really know how you want to be loved, That's the message that I'm getting with that. And so let's go ahead and take a look at your Angel Answers card. I was just asking Spirit with this card, any last information regarding timing or anything else that Spirit wants you to know about union with your soulmate. So you guys have, there's something better. Okay, so I did say when I was initially picking up on your energy, I was hearing the grass is greener on the other side. And normally that saying is like the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but I feel like for you, the grass is greener on the other side. There's something better. So the first message that I'm picking up on is I feel like your connection with your soulmate, once they do come in, is going to be a lot better than you could even imagine. It's going to be something so, I'm hearing thrilling, something so beautiful, something that you would have never experienced before. So that's the first message that I'm picking up with this card. Now, for others of you, it's possible that there's either someone in your life, someone that, you could be dating this person and maybe you're not really happy with this person. There could be someone that you're just romantically interested in. And I feel like Spirit is saying there's something better, like that person is not your soulmate. Your soulmate is coming in and it's going to be a lot better than what you could have ever imagined or hoped for with whoever this person is, if you have a specific person in mind, pile number 2. But I feel like the main message is that when your soulmate comes in, this is going to be like a romance of a lifetime. Like, it's going to be something that you couldn't have dreamed of this. Like, it's like, I'm hearing fairy tale in certain ways. I just feel like this relationship is going to be something that you never would have imagined in the best way possible. And yeah, I just feel like your soulmate is just going to love you in a way that you never really thought was possible. It's so beautiful. And I'm also seeing it's like, it may even be like something where you've never even witnessed a love like this. So for example, maybe like your parents, maybe their relationship wasn't the best, and maybe you never really saw great romantic connections growing up. This soulmate union, this relationship is going to be like nothing like you've witnessed or experienced before, in the best way possible. Pile number 2. I think that's so beautiful. Such a beautiful energy coming from this card. I also just feel like Spirit wants you to stay optimistic about this union. Like I said, I feel like for most of you, this is probably coming in pretty quickly. I feel like you're already connected with this person in the 5T, and I just feel like they're right around the corner for a lot of you. So by you just kind of nurturing yourself and doing what your heart is pulling you towards, taking risks, getting yourself out of your comfort zone in certain ways will just help speed it up, And I also just feel like that advice is just for you in general, regardless of the union with your soulmate. I feel like Spirit just wants you to do that for yourself, you know? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at your last card here. Like I said, this is going to just be the last message that Spirit has for you regarding your journey to your soulmate. So we have life as a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. I love that because I feel like this goes really well with the Wheel of Fortune because this is about change, you know, fate, destiny. So there's definitely a need for you to kind of loosen up a little bit, pile number 2, and allow things to just flow naturally. I feel like your soulmate is going to flow to you very naturally, and you have to like just be open to it, you know, be open to all of the new experiences that life has to offer you. I'm hearing if someone invites you out somewhere, be open to it. Just start saying yes to things is what I'm feeling. You know, you may be like kind of stuck in your ways. I'm hearing, like I was saying, like it felt like this stuck kind of stagnant energy with you, pile number 2. So there's a need for you to kind of go more with the flow of life and allow things to change and to move with that change and try not to resist it. Yeah, go with the flow. You'll be surprised where it leads. And I feel like it's going to lead you to your soulmate, pile number 2. You may meet them in the most unexpected way, you know. I'm hearing for some of you, it may be like you're invited out somewhere with like friends or family or something like that. And you may have initially been like, I don't want to go. But then last minute, you're like, you know what, I'm going to go. And then you meet your soulmate while you're out and about, you know. It could even be something like that, I'm hearing. So yeah, go with the flow. Invite in change, pile 2. Invite it in. Don't resist it. Step out of your comfort zone and pursue what your heart is pulling you towards. So yeah, that is all I'm having, or that's all I'm seeing for you today, pile number 2. I do hope that this reading was helpful and that it resonated for you. If it did, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Hi, pile 3. If you chose this card, then this is going to be your reading where we are asking Spirit, how can you speed up union with your soulmate? So very quickly, before we get in, I wanted to preface this reading by saying everything happens in divine timing. So the union between you and your soulmate is going to happen when the time is exactly right. I just wanted to see what advice we could get from Spirit on what you could do, what you could focus on to possibly speed up this union and put you on that timeline where you and your soulmate are in union. So let's go ahead and get in. As I was initially tapping into your energy, pile number 3, I was initially shown like the Care Bears. And I was like, what's that about, Spirit? The Spirit is saying the inner child. I feel like for you, pile number 3, nurturing the inner child, doing the things that you possibly never got the chance to do as a child, or even like buying the toys that you never had as a child or the things that you wanted as a child. Nurturing the inner child, pile 3, I feel like is really important in terms of you speeding up union with your soulmate. And of course, we're going to get into tarot and get some further information, but that's kind of what I was initially picking up on. And I was also seeing like Harry Potter and like the train. So yeah, I don't know if some of you like really like Harry Potter or you did as a child. But yeah, that was also coming through, something about Harry Potter as well. Kind of just doing things or experiencing things that I feel like really just nurture your inner child, whether it's things that you haven't done since you were a child or the things that you never got to do as a child, is what's coming through here for you, pile number 3. But we're going to go ahead and get into your tarot here. I'm going to place your little card to the side. We're going to read the back of this at the end of your reading, and that's just going to be any last information Spirit has for you regarding your journey to your soulmate. So let's get into your tarot, and then we're going to get into your oracle cards. For pile number 3, Spirit, pile number 3. How can pile 3 speed up union with their soulmate? What do they need to do? What do they need to focus on to speed up union with their soulmate, Spirit? So we have strength. What does pile number 3 need to do, need to focus on in order to speed up union with their soulmate? We have the Hanged Man. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the World, and we have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Cups. So I'm also kind of hearing pile 3, like there's this need for you to change your mindset to a mindset of like anything is possible. There's like a need for you to be more optimistic, I feel, for a lot of you. With this 5 of Pentacles here, this is an energy of lack, right? And it's interesting because this card also came out in the same position for pile number 1. So I kind of feel like the messages are kind of similar across all the piles, but I feel like there's a need for you to be more optimistic in your life. There's a need for you to release any kind of lack mindsets or negative mindsets, especially that you may have surrounding love and connections. But more so, I just feel this need for you to look at life as a whole, as kind of like there's so many possibilities out there for me. There's so many things that I have yet to experience. There's so many places I have yet to explore. I feel like some of you may feel a little bit kind of trapped in your circumstances or stuck within your circumstances. There's this feeling of it just kind of feels like you may be in a space where you just feel like things are not going to get better. And so I feel like the main thing for you, pile number 3, is kind of shifting that mindset with the Hanged Man and looking at things from a different perspective. And instead of looking at looking at life, I was going to say the world, we do have the world here, but looking at life or even the world rather from like a glass half empty, but from a glass half full perspective. And I said that kind of weird. Instead of looking at things from a glass half empty perspective, look at things from a glass half full perspective. I feel like that's the thing, that's the message that's coming through here with your spread. With strength here, you know, this is a card of bravery. This is a card of courage, of strength. I feel like pile 3, you may have gone through some really challenging times in life. You may be currently going through a challenging time in life. And if that is the case, I do feel the need to tell you with the world here, this cycle is ending as we speak, okay? And we do, wow, okay, beautiful. Let me show you the bottom of the deck. We have the 9 of Cups, and under that, the King of Pentacles. So I feel like, especially as it relates to your material world, and this is kind of a side note, as it relates to your material world, finances, home situations, what have you, if you are currently going through any kind of hardship in your material world, I'm here to tell you that this is a cycle that is closing out as we speak. We have a wish fulfillment, and we have the King of Pentacles. This is material wealth and stability. So I feel like you have a lot of good things coming in for you, pile number 3, especially as it relates to your material world. So yeah, I felt the need to tell you, like, if you're going through any kind of material hardship, this hardship is coming to a close for you. But going back, I don't even remember what I was saying about the Strength card here. I was going to say there's a need for you to look at your life, kind of like reflecting back on your life and all the hardships and challenges that you have faced. And realizing how strong you are, pile 3. Realizing how tenacious you are because you're still here, you know. I know that life, you know, it throws you challenges after challenge. It's tough, you know. We all go through tough times in our life. But I feel like there's a need for you to realize your strength, pile 3, and realize that you've made it, you've made it this far, and you will continue to make it, as it relates to any challenges that you may have faced in life. This could be like materially, financially, it could even be within love, just anything in your life that has been just hard. There's a need for you to realize that you're not like some weakling, who can never get it right, or who will never experience happiness and joy in life. That is not at all who you are, or who you're meant to be. You're a very strong and capable person, pile number 3. And I feel like maybe you don't see that about yourself. And I feel like there's a need for you to kind of change your perspective and how you're not only viewing the world and your life, but also yourself, and realizing just how strong and capable you are. And going along with that, 7 of Cups, this is about having options, looking at all the different paths and avenues that you could take in life. So I do feel like there's a cycle kind of closing within your life, a cycle of hardship that I feel like is closing within your life, that I think will actually help you a lot with feeling more optimistic and feeling more capable. But there's this need for you to kind of it's like the world is your oyster, is what I'm hearing. And I feel like the main thing for you, pile 3, is kind of realizing that and recognizing that and seeing that, you're not stuck in this place. You're not stuck in this 5 of Pentacles, in this place of hardship and lack, or even like abandonment, feeling alone. There's so much more that the world has to offer you. There's so much that you have yet to explore. And I just feel like the world is your oyster, it is. But I feel like a lot of you may not see it that way right now. But don't worry, that's going to change. That is going to change. Whether you're proactive about it or not, I feel like with that 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I do feel like there's some sort of wish fulfillment coming in for you. So it could, for some, be a new job that pays you more. It could be anything that's just going to make you feel more optimistic about life, and realizing that you have all of these options available to you, pile number 3. You just have to go after them, So let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards now. So first we're going to look at your soul's purpose. I asked Spirit, what do you need to focus on regarding your soul's purpose in order to speed up union with your soulmate? So you guys have practice. Polish your skills by practicing regularly. So maybe there's a skill of yours that you need to practice more at. I'm also hearing practicing staying more optimistic. So when it comes to our mindsets, and I think I said this in pile 2 or pile 1, when it comes to our mindsets, when we get so used to being in a lack mindset and a negative mindset, and looking at things from a glass half empty perspective, it's really easy to be stuck in that. And you really have to train your mind to think more from a glass half full perspective, essentially, to be more optimistic, to be more positive. That is something that you kind of have to train your mind to get good at. And I'm speaking from experience, pile 3. So that could also be what this is referencing. But if there's a certain skill, I'm noticing she's playing a little instrument here. So maybe some of you are musicians. Maybe you sing, or maybe there's some other skill that you have that you need to practice more at. Spirit is wanting you to put more energy and time into that. But if not, I feel like this is really about you changing your perspective. Your perspective on life, your perspective of yourself, realizing how strong and capable you are, and really training your mind to think more positively, more optimistically, and training your mind to view the world as your oyster. I feel like that's the main message here. If you, especially if you don't have a certain skill or anything that you feel like you need to be practicing at, I feel like it's really about shifting your mindset, changing your mindset. Pile number 3. So Yeah, polish your skills by practicing regularly. Very beautiful. So what else? We have the courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. Okay. So I feel like, well, first of all, the courageous peony, it's bringing me back to the strength card here, that courageous, brave energy coming through. But multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. There's a real need for you to, like I was saying with shifting your mindset, especially about how you're viewing yourself, to allow yourself to view yourself how you're meant to be seen, as someone who is brave, as someone who is courageous, as someone who is multifaceted, as someone who has all of these different options and avenues within life. You are not someone who, like, I keep being drawn back to this Five of Pentacles, of like this lack energy. Like, you're not someone who is literally stuck in lack, pile number 3. You're someone who has so many like experiences that are ahead of you, that are in front of you. And I feel like there's a need for you to tap into that. But also, this is about really showing your true self. So your unique nature, let yourself be seen. Be who you are authentically. Don't dim your light for anyone, pile number 3. Once again, bringing me back to this Five of Pentacles, is because it's a very like dark energy. So I don't know, some of you may struggle with kind of dimming your light to fit in, not being who you are authentically. There's a need for you to really allow yourself to be who you are in your most authentic version of yourself. Let yourself be seen, who you truly are, not who you think people want you to be, or who like society tells you should be. Be who you are authentically, and have strength in that, have courage in that. I think also, like, by you really tapping into your authentic version of yourself, that will also give you like kind of like this boost of energy, of positive energy, that's going to really help you feel more capable of taking on the world. You know, there's something about that when you're like truly and authentically yourself. You're not carrying this load of like trying to be something you're not. You just feel better within yourself, pile 3. So I feel like that's also a message that's coming through, to really just be yourself. Don't dim your light for anyone. Don't change yourself for anyone. Be who you are, wholly and authentically. And this also might be something that you need to practice as well, being yourself, you know, not dimming your light for anyone. So let's see what else we have for you. We have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So what I'm actually feeling with this card, pile number 3, is this is about you getting to know yourself. Especially with this courageous peony over here. This is you taking the time to really get to know yourself, to nurture yourself, to even like reveal your innermost self to yourself. And also like getting to know the people around you, like your closest relationships, really nurturing those relationships and really being yourself wholly and authentically with the people that you already have in your life. I feel like by you practicing that, being authentic with yourself and with the people around you, that is what's going to draw in your soulmate, because your soulmate is not here for a fake version of you, right? They're here for the real version of you, the authentic version of you. So the more that you embrace that, and the more that you nurture the authentic, real version of you, the sooner that you'll draw in your soulmate, because that's what they're attracted to, you know, like that's what brings them in. So that's really beautiful. Really getting to know yourself and allowing yourself to be authentic with the people in your life is very, very important. And like I said, this might be something that you have to practice, you know, especially if you have been kind of dimming your light or changing things about yourself for a long time. You know, it takes practice to get out of that, you know. So let's take a look at your angel answer card. I just asked Spirit any last bit of information or timing information that they have regarding union with your soulmate. and you guys got no. So when this initially came out, I was like, okay, is Spirit saying that they don't have any more information or what? So I kind of feel that way, like Spirit doesn't have any more tidbits to give you as far as like timing or anything like that. But also, if you had a yes or no question in your head as you were watching this, maybe take this as your answer. The answer is no. But also, I'm kind of getting the message, like, don't be afraid to reject anything or anyone that is not serving you. Once again, that energy of like not dimming your light, not changing yourself for anyone. There's this feeling of like, don't be afraid to say no or to reject things or people or situations that are not serving you, is also a message that I'm getting here. If you're someone that's like self-sacrificing or like a people pleaser in any way, I feel like, you know, there's a need for you to kind of reject that and stand more in your power, pile number 3. And, you know, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to reject things that are not serving you, that are not aligned with you, pile number 3. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into your last card here. Like I said, this was last information from Spirit regarding your journey to your soulmate. So you guys have, excuse me, forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events. Your life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Yeah, so that makes sense, because this 5 of Pentacles, this is sitting in an energy of lack, you know. So you may be someone that thinks a lot about the past, and maybe you're someone that thinks about like disappointments and hurts and regrets from the past, you know, and maybe that's what keeps you stuck, you know. Maybe that makes you feel like nothing will get better, you know, by living in the past and not realizing all of these beautiful experiences that are going to be in your future, you know. So there's a need for you to not focus on the past and realize that your life is too precious to waste, especially in the past. The past is done and gone. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is move forward, you know. And I think part of that is like really seeing life from a glass half full perspective rather than a glass half empty perspective, you know. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. So if you're focusing a lot on what didn't work, or you're focusing a lot on lack, on sadness, on grief, on regret, like you're only going to bring more of that in. That is the energy that you're choosing to sit in. So there's, you know, once again, this Hangman, a need to change your perspective and realize that, you know, there are so many beautiful new experiences that are awaiting you. You just have to take them, you know. You have to align yourself with these new experiences, pile number 3, and stop focusing so much on what you don't have, and really appreciate the things that you do have, and realize that there's so much more out there in the world for you, pile number 3. Like, your journey does not end here. Your story does not end here. I'm hearing it's only getting started. So yeah, forgive the past and try and stay more optimistic, pile number 3. So that is all I'm seeing for you today, pile 3. I do hope that this reading was helpful and that it resonated with you. If it did, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!